Okay, so I'm going to show you our 9 to 5 cream foundation, which is truly a 9 to 5 foundation. It lasts me 8 to 12 hours, depending on what I'm doing. Maybe if I'm like in a pool, it won't, but anytime I'm out there working in the field, it will last me all day. It comes in a little jar. It's runs $39.95 for a full ounce. And so occasionally I'll run across someone who says, oh my gosh, your cream foundation is $39. I pay $25 for mine. If you check the volume, most of those cream foundations out there are about half an ounce or less. Ours is a full ounce for $39.95. So price point wise, it's actually amazing for the market. It's not toxic and it does last you all day. But I'm going to show you how to apply it with my quad peptide, because I don't go anywhere without my quad peptide foundation because I'm almost 50. And if I don't wear my quad peptide, it shows. So I'm going to take a little tap of it, literally just about half that amount, about half the size of a pea. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna take a brush and I'm gonna get just a little bit, actually that's even a lot, just a little bit of the 9 to 5 foundation, mix it with this. I might take just a little bit, just take the residue there. And then I'm gonna kind of tap it around my eyes and blend it in. So, and the thing is, once you get it on, if you've got quad peptide mixed with it, you get it on and you leave it alone. You don't go back over it, because you want it to dry and do its magic. And if you keep going back over it, you're going to keep losing the tension that the quad peptide does. So the quad peptide is it kind of puts a corset on your eyelid. And so it kind of helps, it is like putting a corset on. It tightens that tissue under your eye. So I've just blended that out and then just going to let that soak in. And I'm going to tap just a tiny bit more into it. But you don't want to use too much, and you want to just not mess with it too much or it'll look cakey. That should be good. Let that dry. Then I'm going to show you, so you may or may not know this, but powder actually seals any kind of moist makeup. So like for my eyes, using the powder, our Black Velvet eyeshadow powder, I don't know if you noticed, but I dipped my little brush in some water and then applied it damp. It just, once it's on, it won't go anywhere. So in order to seal your 9 to 5 foundation, I'm going to use a little bit of our wet dry powder. You can use the wet dry powder just as your foundation as well, if you're comfortable with that. I would say most people my age, or maybe even younger, maybe 40 on up, if you just use powder, it tends to soak into our wrinkles and our fine lines and our pores, and it tends to make us look older. That's why I'm a fan of cream or liquid foundation for people my age. So, but I'm gonna just put a little bit of this on because what it does is it sets, right? So powder sets. I even go over my lips because I'm gonna add another layer of lipstick and that'll help set it. Okay, hopefully I'm not hiding myself from y'all. Okay, and now we're gonna do a little mascara on there. I'm using the other one. This is the Extend-A-Lash with the little fat brush. Just depends on what you prefer. The fat brushes tend to put it on thicker, so that's gonna be more volume, and then the skinny brushes tend to put it on lengthening. So it goes on less thick, but it shows more length. So it just depends on what your personal preference is. Now I'm also going to come back and add a little lipstick over my liquid lipsticks. These liquid lipsticks, they go on wet like a gloss, but then they dry to a matte. So that's kind of a great combination. It's super easy to apply, dries to matte, which is completely on trend currently. If you don't like the feel of matte though, you can add a little bit of lipsticks. These are our Luscious lipsticks that come in the little magnetic tins. You can add a little bit over the top. I'm gonna add a little bit of Enchanted, which is purpley. And then what I would do is I'm gonna tap it with a little powder. Again, right, powder sets liquid. So since that's creamy, I'm gonna set it with some powder. And first I'm gonna give myself a cheek and a contour, and then I'm gonna set my lipstick with it. So I'm gonna start with my blush. So this is a raspberry beret. I use a darker one because I'm, like I said, I'm about a 3-tone. If I use something too light, it doesn't show up on my skin. So smile. You're going to get that right there where that cheekbone is. And don't be afraid to blend it. With your fingers. And then I'm going to make sure I don't do a little contour. And this is truffle, which is pretty dark. We also have champagne's a much lighter one, and cafe au lait as well. So I'm gonna get right here, kind of draw that little line in, and then I'm gonna come back and blend it out. And here's a trick some of you might not know. This is, if you contour here, do a little bit of the contour here, it takes away our double chins. It makes them less visible. It kind of shadows them. So kind of blends them in. The little concept is that dark recedes. So that's why you do like a contour here. Like I have hooded light eyes. So to do a little bit like one up and one over for my darker shade makes my eyes seem less hooded than they are. It kind of recedes them. And then when I put the light here and here, it brings it out. So it gives my eye more shape than my eye actually has. I think I've covered it all. That should have been kind of covered our tips for our makeup. We do have 3 different types of foundation. We have our CC cream, our wet dry powder, and our 9 to 5 foundation. With our blushes, we have 4 individual tins that you can build your own compact with, or we have our blushing bronzer, which is all self-contained. You don't build a compact with that. Lipsticks, again, we have liquid lipsticks, which are go on like a gloss and dry to a matte, and then we have luscious lipsticks, which again come in the little magnetic tins, and they're more of your traditional creamy lipstick. It's awesome to layer them, and to, as I said before, give that little bit. I just dip this in here. I'm gonna give my lips a little bit of setting powder, and I'm telling you, this will last. Like I have to literally rub it off to get rid of it. Which is cool. So that's, you know, nobody likes to have no lipstick halfway through their day. So that's it. I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed Glam, and I hope you feel a little more comfortable with our product line and with doing makeup on one of your clients. Thanks so much. Take care.